We'll start this morning with some big breaking news.
Keir Starmer currently serves as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, having assumed office on July 5, 2024. His appointment followed a decisive general election in which the Labour Party secured a commanding majority, bringing an end to over a decade of Conservative leadership. Starmer's rise to the highest office of government marks the culmination of a long political and professional journey, from his background as a human rights lawyer and former director of public prosecutions to his eventual leadership of the Labour Party. His role as Prime Minister carries with it a blend of ceremonial, constitutional, and executive responsibilities, making him the central figure in the governance of the nation. As Prime Minister, Starmer is the leader of His Majesty's government. This role requires him to not only manage the affairs of the state but also act as the chief representative of Britain on the global stage. Domestically, one of his core responsibilities is the appointment of ministers who make up the cabinet and the wider government. These appointments are vital because they determine who oversees the various departments, such as health, education, foreign affairs, and the economy. Starmer must ensure that his cabinet is not only politically loyal but also competent, balancing internal party factions while also appealing to the wider public. The composition of the government he leads is therefore both a reflection of his political priorities and a tool for ensuring the smooth execution of his policies. Another significant element of Starmer's position is his responsibility for overseeing the civil service. The civil service is the backbone of government administration, responsible for implementing laws, managing public services, and providing impartial advice. While civil servants are expected to operate independently of politics, the Prime Minister plays a key role in setting the overall direction and tone of governance. Starmer's challenge is to ensure that his government works efficiently with civil servants, bridging the gap between political aspirations and practical execution. This balance is especially critical during times of national or international crises, where quick and effective responses are essential. In Parliament, Starmer serves as the principal government figure in the House of Commons. His authority here is central to maintaining the government's majority and ensuring that legislation is passed. He must lead debates, answer questions from opposition leaders, and defend his government's policies on a daily basis. Prime Minister's Questions, a weekly parliamentary session, places him under direct scrutiny from members of Parliament and provides the public with a direct view of his ability to respond to criticism, think on his feet, and articulate his vision for the country. This is one of the most visible aspects of his role, often defining how the public perceives his leadership. The Prime Minister also has a critical role in shaping and implementing policy. While he does not work in isolation, the office of the Prime Minister holds significant influence in setting priorities for the government. For Keir Starmer, this has meant advancing policies that reflect Labour's campaign promises, such as reforming the health service, addressing the cost of living crisis, investing in green energy, and restoring public trust in politics. His government's legislative program reflects the vision he set out during the election campaign, and he is expected to deliver results that align with the expectations of voters who turned to Labour for change after years of Conservative rule. Beyond domestic politics, Starmer represents the United Kingdom internationally. This includes meeting with other heads of government, attending summits, and managing Britain's relationships with allies and global institutions. His role requires balancing national interests with global responsibilities, particularly on issues like climate change, security, and trade. As Prime Minister, he has the authority to direct foreign policy, working closely with the Foreign Secretary, and to take decisions that can have long-term consequences for Britain's place in the world. In the context of post-Brexit Britain, this responsibility is even more significant, as the UK seeks to redefine its role outside the European Union. Another important function of the Prime Minister is to act as a unifying figure within the nation. Though deeply political, the office also carries an expectation of leadership that transcends party lines during moments of national importance. This might include responding to natural disasters, national security threats, or other emergencies where the country looks to the Prime Minister for reassurance and decisive action. Starmer, as the head of government, must therefore navigate the fine line between being a partisan political leader and a statesman who embodies the collective spirit of the nation. In addition to the external and legislative functions, the Prime Minister is also the de facto chief strategist for his party. For Starmer, this means maintaining the unity of the Labour Party, managing relations with trade unions, grassroots supporters, and local representatives, and ensuring that the party remains electorally viable beyond his first term. Political leadership requires him to not only govern effectively but also to think ahead to future elections, balancing short-term delivery with long-term vision. The strength of his leadership will ultimately be measured not only by how well his government governs but also by whether he can maintain Labour's political dominance. The Prime Minister also has the power to request the dissolution of Parliament and call a general election, though this power is framed within constitutional norms and requires approval from the monarch. This authority gives him a tactical tool to strengthen his party's position if political conditions are favourable, but it is also a high-risk decision that can cut short a government's tenure. While Starmer only recently came into office, the knowledge that he must eventually face the electorate again will shape his decisions and approach to governance. Keir Starmer's role, therefore, is multidimensional and demanding. He must serve as the nation's political leader, a global representative, a party strategist, and a crisis manager. Each of these roles requires different skills, from oratory and diplomacy to administrative acumen and political judgment. The weight of expectation upon him is considerable, as the electorate chose him with the hope of turning a new page in British politics. His success will depend on his ability to deliver tangible results at home, maintain Britain's credibility abroad, and inspire confidence both within his party and among the wider public. In summary, the office of Prime Minister in the United Kingdom, now held by Keir Starmer, is the pinnacle of political leadership in the country. Starmer's assumption of office on July 5, 2024, placed him at the center of decision-making across all aspects of national life, from economic policy to foreign relations. His responsibilities include leading the government, overseeing the civil service, appointing ministers, guiding legislation through Parliament, and representing Britain internationally. At the same time, he must embody the role of a unifying leader capable of addressing crises and maintaining public trust. As his tenure continues, the success of his leadership will be judged by how effectively he navigates the challenges of governance and delivers on the promises that brought him into office.